Hello everyone, welcome back to Thrive with Sushmita, your go-to channel for learning English in a fun and practical way. In today's video, we will explore how to express your daily English sentences in a more interesting way and in a different way. So why are we waiting? Let's get started so that you learn the sentences and use it to sound more engaging, natural, and most important, versatile. So let's get started. The first sentence or the first phrase that we end up using like all the time, the most classic one is how are you. So we end up using the sentences, let's say almost like 4 or 5 times in a day. So what are those different alternatives that you can use to sound from a basic English speaking person to an advanced one, right? The first one can be, how is it going? So how is life? Like, how is it going? What are the things that's happening in your life? So when instead of asking use how are you, you use how is it going, it actually shows that you are interested in knowing that what are the different ways or what are the different challenges or what are the different things that's happening in a person's life, and you are actually interested in knowing. You can always say, how have you been? Like, how have you been? What has happened in life? Or like it knowing so that the person feels nice in telling you if actually something has happened. Next can be WhatsApp, or maybe in today's the Instagram world, people also use it like SUP, the today's generation, right? So WhatsApp. Next can be, how are things? Like, what's up? Like, how are things in your life? Like, is everything okay? Is everything going good? And then you can also ask, how is everything? So these are the 5 sentences which you can use instead of how are you. But you really need to remember the tone that you are using. You really need to remember, see, these sentences can be used in different ways. So for example, like what's up? Now this, or sup for that matter, this is more of a casual or a friendly tone. Like you cannot go and ask your manager about it, like what's up? But you can ask this to your friend. Now, how have you been? When you ask somebody, you want to know like what actually has been happening in the person's life, right? Remember, when you ask someone, how are you, or you use any of these alternatives, please do not ask just for the sake of asking. Have that warmth, have that smile, have that tone, have that concern when you actually ask somebody about how are you, and you really, really want to know how the person is doing. Now, when we say, how are you? I'm sure most of you end up answering, I am fine. So now we will talk about how to reply, I am fine, to, be more expressive and say and reply that how you are actually doing. Let's see how that happens. So first thing you can say is, I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well, thank you. You can also say, I'm doing great. If you're actually doing and there are good things happening in your life, you can always say, I'm doing great, thank you. What about you? You can also say, couldn't be better. Life is good, couldn't be better. You can also say, no complaints, no complaints. But when you actually say that, you need to express that. Like you're very good, your face is like this and you say, no complaints. So your face is actually telling that there are a lot of complaints that you want to say, that expressions, those eyes, no smile on your face. So when you say no complaints, or when you're saying couldn't be better, it has to reflect on your face. You can also say, I'm all right. You can also say that I'm doing wonderful, right? Based on how you are doing actually. Also, you can say like, oh, I'm terrific. I also read one article, or maybe I was reading a book basically, attitude is everything. So there also the writer speaks so well about this sentence, wherein like when someone asks you and how you're feeling, when you reply that I am terrific, you actually are expressing. So instead of being on the complaint mode all the time, you can always say and practice, and maybe it is said that fake it till you make it. So when you actually say that I'm terrific, I'm super fine, I'm doing great, couldn't be better, I cannot complain, I'm great, what about you? So you're basically trying to reflect or to pass on that positive energy to that person as well. So this is also a very nice way to not only express yourself, but pass on that baton of energy to the person in front, right? Now the next one is okay. So this is one sentence which I don't know how many times we use in our daily lives. Let's see what are the other alternatives that we can use to say okay when we are asked something. So instead of okay, you can use these alternatives, right? Like instead of saying okay, you can say all right. Sometimes, like somebody have been given some instruction, you can just say yeah, all right, I got it. Come home early, if your mama tells you, you can say yeah, all right, I got you. You can also say okie dokie. This is again a very casual way of saying okay, and this is one of my favorites. I would say it's so nice. It shows so much of fun. So when you say okie dokie, or you just reply okie dokie on a WhatsApp text, oh, it sounds so cool, right? The next can be I. It's so much fun when somebody gives you an instruction. Like if my father wrote to me, please be home by 8 p.m. tonight, and I'll just write to him, I, sir. So it is a fun way to express yourself, in a conversation. You can also say, that works, yeah, okay, that works for me. You can also say, Roger that. Roger that means you copy exactly. So if somebody tells you, your manager tells you, submit the presentation or mail me the presentation by 9 p.m., yeah, roger that. Which means you're copying that, which means you've understood what needs to be done. You can also say, sounds good. So if there's somebody makes a plan, let's go for a movie tonight. So instead of writing, okay, always say that, yeah, sounds good. So see, it is adding so much of spice in that conversation. You can also say noted, like if there are some notices from your child's school or some daycare, you can always write, like if they have given you a notice about that the school is closed tomorrow or you need to submit something, you can always write noted, which means you have read it and you know what is to be done. You can also write acknowledged. You can also say acknowledged. Acknowledged means whatever has been told to you, you have read to it and you agree to it. That is in your thought. You've acknowledged it. You can also use like heard you, loud and clear. So if your mama tells you clean the bedroom today, your room is very dirty, you can always say heard you mama, very loud and clear. So she knows that you have heard it and I'm sure you're going to follow it. So like this, there is one more common phrase which we use all the time, like sentence like I think. So this, instead of using I think, there are so many ways that you can use it. Like this is basically how when we use this I think to express some opinions, right? So instead of just saying that I think this needs to be done, you can always say in my opinion. You can use alternatives like in my opinion. You can say I believe that this should be done, or I believe we are going for a movie tonight. So I believe. You can also say to me. So to me, this plan sounds perfect. So in my opinion, or I think that this plan sounds perfect for me. You can also say as far as I am concerned. So this is basically sometimes when you are in a group of people and you're trying to express an opinion or a common topic which is being there, that everybody is allowed to express. Now you can say that like if everybody agrees that let's go for a long drive tonight, but you can always say that as far as I am concerned, I won't be interested because it is not that safe at night these days. So you are respecting what others say, but you're putting in your opinion, what you feel. You can also say, if you ask me. So somebody is asking your opinion. So before you place or when you speak or you tell, you can always say, if you ask me. So these are the different ways where you can use and elevate your daily speaking conversations and daily English sentences to another level. So this way it is going to sound more appropriate and people will actually listen to you and you will be gaining confidence slowly. So yes, this was all about today. We will meet in the next video. Till then, take care, keep learning, keep thriving. Thank you so much.